doing today? Back again with another video for you guys and gals. And today I wanted to do something that I've been thinking about doing for a long time, and I finally got everything together to do it. So I figured, why not just do it and get it done? What am I talking about? Today I'm going to walk you guys and gals through my overall creation process, okay? From start to finish. Now, what does that entail? Just so y'all have a brief idea of everything that we're going to cover today. And yes, this is going to be a long one, but hopefully it's going to be a long, helpful video. But what does that mean? We're going to go through all of the apps that I use to do things like editing my photos and editing parts of my videos to making my thumbnails. The apps that I use to transfer my files back and forth when I'm creating a video for you guys and gals, all of that. And then we're going to culminate the video by giving you guys and gals a general tutorial of my main video editor. Alright? And I know it's a lot, but I feel like if y'all sit down and watch this video all the way through, you're really gonna get a few tips on how you can start creating content, because I have a bunch of friends and family that enjoy watching videos, whether it be on Facebook, YouTube, or any other platform, and they have all these great ideas, and they're always saying, I want to do it, but I have nowhere to start. So hopefully, guys, after watching this video, I know it's a long one, y'all will have a general idea of how y'all could start and how y'all could start producing content. So, let me go ahead and switch over to my phone here, and we're going to get this video started. I'll see you guys and gals on the other side. Let's go. So, now what I want to do for everyone is just go over some of the apps that I use in my overall content creation process. So, as you guys and gals can see, I'm screen recording my phone right here. This is my Samsung Galaxy S8. And if we dive into my most used apps folder, this is where y'all will see some of the apps that I use for content creation purposes. Now, in the top left-hand corner, this is the Kinemaster video editor app. And that's my main video editor app that I use to create my content. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into that in a second here, or in a few minutes here. Then, to make my thumbnails or edit photos that I use for comparisons or pick slideshows, I would use the Collage Maker app here. And pretty much what it lets you do is it lets you either edit photos and videos, or it lets you make collages. As you guys and gals can see, I actually made one already. That's what that is right there. So this will probably be my thumbnail for a video that I'm working on that I launch, that I will publish alongside this video here. So y'all will get two videos on this particular day whenever this video comes out. So yeah, it just lets me either add some polish or text to different photos for, like I said, pick slideshow purposes or comparison purposes, or it's another way or another tool that I use to make thumbnails for my YouTube videos. Alright, so that's Collage Maker. Alright, now another app that I like to use again for editing my photos is the Shot On app. And in particular, depending on which device I have, I go to the Play Store, and if the camera doesn't support it, it doesn't support that watermark, that Shot On watermark, I go to the Play Store and I find the dedicated Shot On app for that particular device. So I have one for my Xiaomi device and I have one for my Samsung device. And pretty much what it does is, if I launch it, it lets me add that Shot On text to the photo. So you can see I added the Samsung logo, I added shot on and the name of the device, and I added shot by, and I just added my name. And what you pretty much can do is you can tap into your gallery, find a particular photo, tap on it, click done, and then it will add that stamp to the photo here. So I already did one. So if I jump into my gallery, you guys and gals can see now it makes a separate dedicated folder, and you can see it says shot on Samsung Galaxy S8, shot by Eric Drummond. That's me. Alright, so really nice app, really small touch, but it makes a difference, and I feel like it makes the overall photos look a little bit more professional and a little bit cleaner. Alright, then of course we have my screen recording apps. So we have the AZ screen recorder, and we have the regular screen recorder. Now I don't remember who makes this regular screen recorder here, but that is what it is. And then this next app is something that I use regularly when I'm deciding to make videos, or even if I'm setting up new devices. This is the Files Go app. And pretty much when you launch the Files Go app, this is your main landing page. And you can see this is a great app for managing the storage on your device, cleaning up the cache, getting rid of duplicate files, so on and so forth. Now, one of the primary things that I use this app for is sending and receiving files from multiple different devices back and forth. And one of the ways that the Files Go app does that is it pretty much creates a separate network that you can connect your devices to send different files back and forth between the devices. Alright, so one of the backbones that it uses to do that is Bluetooth and the location settings. So a lot of the times when I'm producing videos, depending on the devices that I'm using or the devices that I decide to edit with, I may have to send back and forth a particular photo or video to get everything where it needs to be so I can start the overall editing process. And that's what this app allows me to do. Alright? Now, that pretty much does it for the general overview of the apps that I use for my creation process. Now, give me a second here. I'm going to go ahead and switch up the angles, and I'm going to come back to you guys and gals, and we're going to go over my general creation process using the Kinemaster app. So give me 1 second, guys and gals. Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? Back again with the second part of how I create my content. So the first part of this video, I went over some of the apps that I use in my production content or my video production content. So I went over the apps that I use to transfer my files back and forth. I went over the apps that I use to make my thumbnails, so on and so forth. Okay, now I just wanted to dive a little bit deeper into the editing app that I use. Then we're gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. So this right here is Kinemaster, or however you pronounce it. That's how I pronounce it, and Google picks it up when I say that as well. So let's do a real quick overview, and I'm gonna talk to you guys and gals about some features here, and then we're gonna wrap it up as I said. So when you pick up Kinemaster, much like all the other apps that I've featured in this video, there's a free and a paid version. Now when you pick it up from the Play Store, all links to these apps will be available down below in the video description. When you pick it up from the Play Store and you install it, when you launch it, it's going to ask you for app permissions, and then it's going to drop you to the home landing page here. Alright? Whoops. And the first thing that I recommend you guys and gals do on the home landing page is you dive into the settings here, and then you calibrate your device and gather the information. Now the whole reason why I say calibrate your device is because it's going to take a second, it's going to scan your device, and it's going to tell you the best recommended output for your device. Alright, and it's always good to know what the best recommended output for your device is. Alright, next, when you come in here, you can set a few things out the gate. So you can set some preset durations for different things in a video. So you can see the default photo duration. So if I'm doing a particular video where where I have a bunch of photos, or maybe I'm comparing a bunch of photos side by side, that duration is the duration of time that the photo will stay up in the video, and then it'll transition away. The same thing can be set for the transition of text in the video, and you can also set the primary cropping for the video. Alright, so the cropping is pretty much the zoom, and I always recommend that you jump in here and you tinker around with these settings before you get started. Now I like having as much time as possible, and then I tweak it around to my liking so y'all can see I actually maxed it out here. Alright, so that's the first thing that I would recommend you do if you pick up this app. Now, back on the main landing page, you just click this icon here to begin working on a project. Now, I already have a project that I'm working on, so for demonstration purposes, I'm going to use that. So you would click that icon, it'll bring you here, and then you click this to start working on your project. Now, out of the box, you're going to have a completely blank project here. And one of the ways you add content to it is this first tab up here that says Media. And in this tab, you could add photos, you could add video, you could add a bunch of different things. It can be locally sourced photo or video, or it could be from the cloud. So you can see we do have cloud support there. Now, one of the things that I like to do is I like to start off my videos with my logo splash screen. Okay, so that's what this is right here. That's pretty much just my logo splash screen, and you can see if you set it up that way, you can go in here and you can tweak a few things. So I can tweak the overall length that it's up. I can crop it. So for cropping instances, let's say I wanted it to transition from here all the way out to here. So I can crop it like that, and it'll do a nice transition from one point to the other. Now let me silence this music. We're going to get into the music in a second, but let me just demo how that cropping works. Let me go ahead and mute this. Alright, so that's how you crop your main image here if you're doing a picture slideshow, or maybe if you just wanted to start out with a nice little logo page before you jump into your video. So let's demo this real quickly. Alright, so you can see it transitions from one point all the way through to another point, and then it ends in my transition into the video. So really easy, really straightforward. So that's the first part. You can add photos and transitions, no problem. Next, if you click this little audio icon here, you can also add music to your overall video, which you can then do some things with. And again, similar to how you get the overall content into the editor, you can get your music from a bunch of different sources. Now you can download music and have access to it locally, or you can click into the Kinemaster store and you can get music from here, as well as you can get transition effects, you can get stickers, you can get different text styles, so on and so forth, and then we're right back to music. So you got a bunch of different things you can do, and you can also get a bunch of themes and different types of effects that you can use for your video. And one thing that I want to mention here is that this app, as I said earlier, is free on the Play Store, but it does have a Pro or a Premium version, and I recommend for best performance that you go with the Pro or the Premium version. Okay. Oh, and just so y'all know, I'm not sponsored by this particular company in any way, shape, or form, and I'm not sponsored by any of the apps that I've featured throughout this video thus far. These are just apps that I would highly recommend if you're looking into getting into content creation and you have no idea where to start. So I just had to throw that real quick disclaimer out there. Now let's keep it moving. So that's how you get audio from Kinemaster directly. Now, one of the things that I like to do is I recently found that on YouTube, if you go to the Creator Studio and then you go to the Creator section and go to the audio library, YouTube actually has a section on their site dedicated to copyright-free music that their creators can use on their videos. So before, where I used to reach out to a bunch of different artists and ask them about featuring music, or I used to do a lot of research on YouTube about copy-free music, I pretty much leaned away from that because copyright-free music, sometimes the artist can later on decide they want to initiate a copyright strike, and then you may be in problems. Case in point, my LG G6 video, that was supposed to be copyright-free music, but then later on I ended up getting a copyright claim on that copyright-free music. Does that make any sense? Nah, I didn't think so either. So one of the ways that I alleviated that issue was I just get my music now from YouTube directly, and this is all music that they deem is safe to use on your videos. And another neat thing about that audio library on YouTube is they update it monthly. So I'm always going on there and finding new music that I like to incorporate to my videos. Then I just download it so I have access to it locally, and then we're good to go. I also have some backed up in the cloud if I want to make videos on the go. I have some stored in my Google Drive so I can make my videos on the go. Maybe I don't have access to one of my favorite tracks that I want to use in a video. Then we'll go up to Google Drive and pull it off. So that's really, really nice. And now back to how you add the overall audio. So once you found a track that you want to use, you tap on it and you can preview it. Alright, and then you can add it. And then once you add it, it goes into your main timeline here. And once it's added, you can do a few things to it. Now you can adjust the volume, you can mute it as I demonstrated, you can adjust the pitch, so on and so forth. You can, if it has a particular voice in it, they do have a voice changer in here, so you could do that as well. And you can make it background music, so if maybe you want to have music playing the entire time throughout your video, you can make that music background music, and it will take a back seat to the primary audio that's in the video. And if you want to repeat a track throughout the video, you can loop it, and then that will give you the ability to loop that track through the entirety of the video. Alright? Now, let's say you didn't want to loop it, but you wanted to have music playing throughout certain sections of your video, then you can cut and crop the music to your heart's content here. So as you guys and gals can see, down here in my timeline, I actually have some music cut to lead into my first transition before we get into the video itself. Now you can do a right trim, a left trim, you can do a center trim, and you can tweak around with this to your heart's content. So you can see I can drag and drop it to where I want it to be, and once I feel like it's lined up, let it go, and we're in business. So that's how you would add music, and that's some of the ways you can add audio music to some of your video or content projects using this app. Alright, now let me give you guys and gals a quick preview, and then we're going to move on to the next part. Okay, so there you guys and gals can see, really nice transition, and let's go into some of those transition effects. Okay, so if I tap here, now out of the box, when you add your content, this transition area will be a gray box with like an equal sign in it, or like an equals dash. Then you could tap on that and you'll have access to a bunch of different transition effects. Alright, now out of the box there are a bunch of different free ones that are really nice, but again, for best results I recommend that you get the premium version of this app so you get access to a bunch of different features and transitions. Alright, now once you found one that you like, there's usually a few different tweakable points to it, but once you've locked down on the desired one, so let's say I like this one, you can go ahead and change the speed of it right here, so you can make it super quick, wham, or you can slow it down for a more dramatic effect. So if I want to make it super slow, you could do that, or I could just leave it at the preset, which is 1.5, like that. So that's how you would do your transition effects, and that would lead directly into the main video itself. And once again, let me demonstrate that for you guys so you can see how that transition effect works. Real nice transition. Alright, now because I don't want any excess background noise on this video, I went ahead and muted the main video, but I'm still going to talk about and demonstrate a few things for you guys and gals. Now let's say you did your main transition, you set up your first part, and now you're ready to add some different things to your overall video. Let's say you wanted to add a title sequence or some title text. You could do that here as well. So you can see if I push play, and once I figured out where I want my title to be, I can push pause and drop in some title text. Or if I was doing a comparison, or I wanted to sample a photo or add in some B-roll, I could do that easily here by just clicking in, and then this lets me add in different photos, different video, so on and so forth, and all of that is customizable. So if I go back here and I go to let's go here and let's go here. So let's say I wanted to have some B-roll here, and you can see it dropped in the video, and if I was filming any B-roll, I could add it like so. I can move it around, I can add transitions to it, add animations to it, all that good stuff to it. Now we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but pretty much once you get the core concepts, it pretty much works across everything that you do in this app. So that's how you would add B-roll, or maybe you wanted to add a particular photo to get a close-up on something, you can do that there as well. Or you could add different effects, stickers, and or text. So that's how I added that main title text that you guys see there. Now you can type it in or you can dictate it. And you guys know I'm a big fan of dictation because I'm a real slow typer. So that's really good. Now once you have your text up, you can do a few different things. You can change the font on it, and there's a bunch of different fonts to choose from. Alright. I like the graduate one that's up there. You can do your animations, so your intro animation for the text, and there's a bunch of different ones to choose from here. So you really find the one that works for you. You can change the speed of it to make it look better depending on how you want it. You can do an overall animation. So if you want to leave it up but you want to keep it moving, you can do that here. So there's a bunch of different animations you can use. I don't like the overall animation, so I really don't use those. You can do an outro animation, which really looks pretty sweet and it's pretty much self-explanatory. Alright, you could do that there. You can change the transparency of the text right here. So if I wanted to make it less visible, if I wanted to make it more visible, you guys and gals get the idea, right? If I wanted to rotate the text, could do that here, or mirror text from one side to the other, I can do that here as well. Alright. Then if I wanted to left justify the text, center justify the text, or right justify the text to make it look better, I could do that here as well. I'm a big fan of centering the text. Then to make it pop out, I can also add shadows to it. I can add a glow effect. I can add a highlight color. I really like white and blue, if you didn't notice. That's why my colors are white and blue for my logo. I could add some background shadowing to it to get the text to pop. And I could add an overall background shroud to it, which makes it even darker and extends throughout the whole thing. But you pretty much use these things as you see fit. And that pretty much does it for the text and title manipulation. And so this is the final effect that I was able to come up with. Now I'll be sure to drop this video side by side my content creation video here, so you guys will get 2 uploads on this particular day. So let's see how the finished product looks. Alright, nice little title transition. And again, you can also adjust the duration that it stays up, and then you can transition it out. So really, really nice. Okay? And that's how you do the title text there. Or if you're doing a video with multiple different categories and you want to title each category, you can do that here as well. And another neat trick is once you get your formatting down, you don't have to keep doing it over and over. Once you realize, okay, I want to add this category to this video, now I got to do that whole format over. No, you don't have to do that. You hit that little 3-dot hamburger menu there, and you can actually duplicate your title text, or any text for that matter, and all the formatting is saved. So all you have to do is, like, let's say if this was a review video, and I was talking about something like build quality and design, my whole format is saved. I just have to go in and change my text. So I can erase this. And let's say if this was a review and I was talking about build quality and design, I could dictate that here. Build quality and design. Okay? And you guys and gals can see all of the formatting stays the same. Okay? So if you wanted to keep a particular format, but you wanted to spread it out over different categories, you can do that very easily using that little trick there. But this is an unboxing video, so we don't really need that. So let me go ahead and erase this. Now you can erase, you can undo with these icons here. Now, I just wanted to demo that, but I want to actually erase this. So that's gone. Now, so that pretty much goes over how to add content, how to add music, how to add photos, how to cut everything up, how to add transitions, so on and so forth. Now let's say you were somewhere and it's very loud, it's extremely noisy, but you still managed to get some really awesome footage, but your audio is crap. Don't worry, this app has got you covered because it has a built-in voiceover function, which is this right here. And all you have to do is, again, allow it permissions, and then it'll use the dedicated mics on your device to let you record a voiceover. Or if you have a dedicated mic that you want to plug into your headphone jack, you can plug that mic in and use that dedicated mic to record your voiceover. So really, really nice touch. Now I don't have this set up on my S8 here, but I do have it set up on other devices like my Mi A2 Lite and my LG Stylo 3, and it's really, really good. I'm not a big fan of voiceovers, but if there's ever an instance where I get some really good video and my audio sucks, then it's always nice to know I could do a real quick voiceover and still have that nice crispy video for you guys and gals. So really nice touch. Let's cancel that for the duration of this video here. And pretty much, guys and gals, that pretty much goes over the core functions of how you use the Kinemaster video editor. And you can see I've edited my video, and I have my little outro here with my transition. So let me just play that for y'all real quick. Nice little transition. So let's say you're done with your video now and you're ready to upload it and share it. Okay, you come back here and this is where you would add your title. Okay, then you would tap this little share icon here, and then this is where you can upscale or downscale the video or put it out at its original resolution. Me, myself, I tend to use 720p resolution because I only have a 720p TV. So that's why, if some of you guys were wondering why I don't have 4K, a bunch of 4K content, why I don't have a bunch of 1080p content, I only shoot for what I can play back, which at the moment is only 720p. Alright, so you can upscale your video, you can downscale your video, and you can extort. Okay? Now, once you figured out what you want to export your video, I said export your video at, sorry y'all, I've been watching a lot of movies lately. Once you figured out where you want to export your video at, whether it's 1080p, Quad HD, so on and so forth, you hit the export button. It's going to take a few minutes based on the size of the video, and then you should be good to go. Now, I don't want to make this video too long. So I'm just going to go ahead and show y'all what it looks like once you've already exported a video. Now I've already put this one up, so this one should work just fine. So you tap share, you go through the export process, your video's done, you end up with this finished file here that you can preview the final result, you can delete it and start over, or you can share it to your different platforms. So you can see if I tap the share, then I could share it to multiple different platforms. So Facebook, YouTube, Google Plus. If it was a short video and I wanted to text it to family, or if it was a short video and I wanted to email it to family, I could do that here. If I wanted to message it via Facebook Messenger to some of my friends to preview it and let me know what they think, I could do that here as well. Or if I wanted to back it up, you can see I can save it to my Google Drive storage, which is what I do with a lot of my videos, because it's always good to have a backed up copy of your finished product. Alright? But typically what I do is, at this point, I would share it to YouTube. And this would hand over the video to the YouTube editor, at which point I can do a few more things. But for me, at that point, when I'm in the YouTube editor, the only thing I'm doing is adding a description, adding links, and adding other links to either affiliates or other channels that I want you guys and gals to check out. And then I'm deciding what playlist I want to put it into. I'm adding tags to the video, and I'm either publishing the video or scheduling the video for a certain release date. That's all I do through the YouTube editor. Now, you can also, in the YouTube editor, let's say I recorded something and I didn't really want it to show, but I didn't really want to go ahead and reshoot a ton of video just because one particular section showed that I didn't want everybody to see. You can also gray out different parts of YouTube videos. I add that little privacy static so your viewers can't really see any sensitive information. You could do that from the YouTube video editor as well. Just wanted to throw that out there. So that pretty much goes over my whole creation process. Pretty much from start to finish, I come up with an idea, I decide what I want to shoot, then I decide what my thumbnails and my photos are going to be, then I start my editing process. Once everything's all edited up, I export it, and then I share it to YouTube, and I finish up by adding in my descriptions and my links, so on and so forth, and tags. That pretty much goes over my whole creation process from start to finish. So I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video, and maybe I hope it was helpful. If you're considering getting into content creation but you really don't know where to start, you don't need to go out and buy a super expensive camera. You don't need to go out and buy a whole bunch of software and video recording equipment. You can do all of this strictly from the cameras and some of the software on your smart devices. So that age-old saying is, you're only as good as the camera you have on you. That really does speak volumes here. And at least with any particular smartphone running Android, you just download these particular apps that I mentioned and you should be good to go. So no need to worry about picking up all of that expensive stuff. You don't need an expensive DSLR. You don't need a bunch of different rigs or expensive software. You're good to go with just your smartphone and anything that you can imagine in your head. Alright, so I hope you guys and gals found this video helpful. That being said, if you did find this video helpful or you enjoyed this video in any way, shape, form, or fashion, please help your boy out and give the video a thumbs up. That really does help me out. You don't know how much. This whole video was recorded using a combination of screencasting software and the cameras on the LG Stylo 3, whether it was the 13 megapixel camera or the 5 megapixel camera on the LG Stylo 3. All the audio you guys and gals heard throughout this video was recorded using the Lapel CQ clip-on microphone and the onboard microphones on my Samsung Galaxy S8. Okay? All the links to all of my production gear and all the apps and everything that I talked about in this video will be linked down below in the video description. So if your interest is piqued, down below in the video description should be like a one-stop shop for you guys and gals, and you should be good to go. That being said, I hope everyone has a great evening and or day, depending on the time and the place you are when you watch this video, and I will catch you guys and gals in my next video. Peace, everyone.